we live?
Live.
We are live. Hey, welcome to the Sunday podcast. Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to make money. Money. Because money is not the root to evil, it's the root to happiness. Trust me. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to have money. Anyway, these days, you need all the money you can get because the world is going cuckoo. What's going on with this crazy coronavirus? It's killing me. I had somebody cancel a group, 250 rooms they booked, practically the whole hotel for 3 days, and they canceled. You know how much money that is? A lot. It's probably about $150,000 in room revenue that I lost. Are you sure we're live? Are we live? Okay. So, it's time to make some money. When things get tough, the tough get going. Where's the tough get going? In the real estate. Because the stock market is kicking your ass. It sure kicked mine. And I hate stocks, but I let them play with some of my money. Well, you know, they made me some money in 19, and now here came 20, and I gave it all back. So it's like I went back a year in time. But this thing's getting serious now. Cruise ships are dying. Hotels are dying. Airlines are dying. Hopefully it's going to end soon when the weather gets nice. And it's not a good time to travel or go anywhere, so that's going to kill us. So what else we got? We're going to take some calls today. We're going to try to help some people out, people that want to get off their ass and make some money. All right? You're not going to make nothing sitting around dreaming about it, talking about it. You got to do it, baby. You got to do it. And let me tell you something. If you ain't borrowing money right now, I don't know what to tell you. Now is the best time. Even if the rate keeps going down, which I doubt it can, you better get in that bank right now and start borrowing some money because it's like free money. I got a loan the other day for 2.39 fixed, interest only. That's me. You may not get that same rate, but it doesn't matter. It's a great time to borrow. All right? You got to get out there, set the money up, and find the deal. Get that real estate agent working. You know, I told the guy the other day, I said, listen, it's real simple. You know what your price range is. You know you could buy something for up to $250,000. That's what you're prepared to do. You got the 20% down. You want to buy an income property. It's simple. Just tell the agent every day when new stuff pops on the market, notify you. But you got to know your market. Whatever your market is, whether it's 50,000, 250,000, 5 million, you got to know everything that's on the market right now in that price range. And it's simple. It's on the computer. That's what the agent does. But you need to study everything on the market. You pick out the deals you like, and then the ones you don't like, you know, you try to even bargain on them. You know, you can always make an offer, you know. You can always go up, but you can't go down. Get in there and start making offers, okay? And borrow the money and make money. It's the simplest business in the world. So what else we got? We got people calling in today. This week was a rough week with the virus. What else is going on?
If you want to ask my dad, Ben Mallah, go to benmallah.com/askben. Go to the Ask Ben tab. And then when they call you, answer the 727 area code because some people haven't been answering.
If you get a call from 727, it's not an unsolicited sales call. It is us calling you.
Yep.
So answer the phone.
And then also,
we're not here to fool around, goddammit. We're here to try to help you make money.
You can also send a question on Twitter at #AskBen.
How about hash brown? I'm hungry. Where's Uber Eats at? Wake me up. We lost an hour. Time changed. We lost an hour.
Yeah.
All right. So we're very, very busy in real estate, but we're here on a Sunday trying to help others. Okay? Everybody needs to get in the game. Get in the game. Don't be lame. Get in the game. Up, we got a caller. Let's see what their story is.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today? It's Ben Mallah from the podcast.
Ben, how are
Yes,
you?
Fine. How are you? How can we help you?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I love the show. And I want to thank you first really appreciate what you're doing. It's helped me a lot and a lot of other people, so thank you.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. That makes it all worth doing.
Cool. So I'm a self-made guy out here in the LA area, and I used to buy fancy houses that went up a lot in value, so that's how I started getting money to buy. But I never had the guts to buy a commercial property because the loans always scared me because I couldn't get a 30-year fixed, and I wasn't interested in apartments. So I went for industrial, multi-tenant industrial, office, retail, and finally faced those fears about 3 years ago. So that's what I was calling you about, are those loans, the characteristics of the loans for those types of properties. So my first question is, do you know what banks are good for those types of loans? Because it seems like I've wasted so much time calling Wells Fargo and Chase and Union and all these big banks, and they all have the same thing. It's like a 7-year fixed with a massive prepayment penalty, 554-321, or a 5-year fix with a 54321, or a 3-year fix with a 321, or a variable with a 1% penalty. And I do exactly what you do. I find broken properties, I fix them up, I manage them myself, and then I try to refi and get my money back out. But it's hard to do that with those massive penalties.
Well, I mean, it's all about relationships too. You get the best terms as you build up a relationship with a bank, and they see that you're a customer they keep making money off of. But, I mean, is your intention after you refinance them and get your money back to keep them?
Oh, yeah, I never sell.
Well, then if you never sell, what are you worried about the prepayment
like
penalty for? Don't worry about the prepayment penalty. If you're not selling, then take the 3-year, take the 5-year if you know you're going to keep it, and don't worry about it. You're not going to pay the penalty because you're not selling. The only reason
No, I do the cash out refi. I've heard you say on your show a lot of times.
Well, then what you do is you take.
Because I'm too big.
You take a
And I
loan.
thought, what does that mean?
So fine, you take a loan. If it's only a short-term cash out refi for like a year or so, then take the best loan you can get the place turned around, and then do the fixed rate loan for the long-term plan. Just to get your foot in the door. If you got, like, when I have a troubled property, I might go to one different bank that, will give me the best deal on short term. And then once I got the place stabilized, then I'll go to another bank and say, here, now give me the fixed rate loan with the prepay and all that bullshit. Even though I don't do prepays, but,
Well, that's my question, because I've seen every one of your shows, and I've heard you say that multiple times. You say, I don't get a prepayment penalty. I'm too big for that. They don't do that to me. So that's what I was wondering. Who are these banks that don't do it to you, and how big did you have to get?
It's the big banks.
I want to be able to be in that position.
You got to be in the multi-million-dollar range for them to really, you got to start.
I have about $40 million in real estate.
Well, let me tell you something. If you got $40 million in real estate, then do you have any cash like invested in stocks or bonds or anything like that?
Very little, like $1.5 million. Once it starts piling up, I buy another property.
All right. Well, I'm just going to tell you what I do, okay? What I do is I go and I find, like, I have what they call a money manager. It's like a broker, at Merrill Lynch. And because, I have that relationship with him, and he's holding my bonds and my assets, then what he does, he now is my representative to the bank to get me loans. So he goes to Bank of America, which owns Merrill Lynch, and he handles everything. I ain't got to even talk to Bank of America. So
I called them last week, and they shut me down. They said the smallest deal we do is $25 million. I said, I don't do that.
Well, they got different divisions. I don't know who you're talking to, but every bank has different levels and different divisions. But what I would do is, you need a friend in the bank, and the way you make a friend is to have an account with somebody that benefits off that account. Like who do you hold your assets with right now?
Chase, but they have those terrible terms, so I'm starting to jump ship.
Well, you have,
I'm paying a $200,000 penalty right now on one of those 7-year fixed. The penalty right now is 4%, but the rates dropped so much. I did the math, and I thought, I'm better off refinancing, and I'm gonna pay a $200,000 penalty just on one property right now, and then $100,000 on another one, and then $50,000 on another one because the rates went down so much recently. And I'm
Hey,
thinking,
I
I would like
paid
to be
it.
able to avoid that.
If it makes sense, it makes sense. But the problem is you're already stuck with those loans, so you got to do it, right?
Right, but moving forward, when you say, "Oh, they don't do that to me. I'm too big," I'm thinking, well, who are these people that don't do it to you, and can I deal
Well,
with them? And how big do I have to be to not
you
get
know,
messed?
I
You
had
can
the
get
same relationship with
long-term
all of them.
fixed rate.
You got to
Can
find
you have
somebody to
long-term
help you.
fixed rate with no penalty, or just variable with no penalty?
No, you can do anything with no penalty. I mean, I do fixed, I do variable, adjustable rates. It doesn't matter. Anything can, they can leave you alone on the fixed. It's just terms that you negotiate with the bank. I mean, you need to have a friend. You're big enough now where you need a friend in a bank. Okay, you're in L.A. You said.
Yeah.
I mean, Wells Fargo. When I kept my money with them, but they want to see that you're part of their family. See, if you go and you take $1 million and you throw it in their brokerage account, and then you control it. I recommend you control the account, but if they hold the account, then you become part of their family, and that's going to introduce you to other benefits that the bank can give you. You need a buddy in the bank. You need to warm up to a guy that's like a broker there, and then he'll help you with the loans because he's got more weight. And then you tell him, listen, this is what I tell him. I say, listen, go ahead and help me get a loan, and then when I refinance it, I'm going to take that cash and put it in your account. And then when I need money, I'm going to borrow against that account. I'm going to have a line of credit against that account that I have with him. But you need a buddy in a bank. You need somebody that's going to help and work with you and be your advocate. And that's what
And you like Merrill Lynch?
I've had success with Merrill Lynch here, where I'm at in Florida. I was recommended.
Well, they have it here.
I mean,
they have it here too because I called B of A last week searching, and they said, "Oh yeah, talk to this guy Patel at Merrill Lynch. They handle all of the commercial loans." So I called him, and he said, "Oh no, you're too small for us. We don't do little deals. Smallest thing we do is $25 million."
Well, then you need to go to a smaller guy. Well, listen, if you walk into a Merrill Lynch office and you say, "Listen, here's my story. All right, I got $1 million+ I want to put in your bank in the account, and in your wealth management account. I want to start a wealth management account. I want to put $1 million in there, but I need to know that you're going to help me with real estate loans because that's what's going to help me grow my account with you."
And they let you at Merrill Lynch with B of A. They let you do smaller loans than $25 million when you're buying property.
Listen, once you put money in their account there, and you got a good broker working for you, a stockbroker or money manager, they'll let you do any damn thing you want. Okay, they'll loan you. They'll loan you.
That's so crazy that they scared me away like that.
I don't know. You went to some big shots, $25 million. That's stupid. Yeah, you need to go.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you need to have. It's all about relationships. You need to find a good money manager that handles accounts for $1 million+. Go to him and say, "Listen, I want to open up an account, but I want you to help me with real estate loans." Also, and see what he says, because my guys are golden. If I need a loan,
now,
I
are
just
there
tell
any
them.
other banks that hooked it up, or would you say that Merrill Lynch and
Most of my success, most of my recent success with getting the best rates is Merrill Lynch. They own, Bank of America owns them. They get money from them. I've had success with Wells Fargo. I've had success with Citibank. I mean, I don't know. You don't have a bank out there that I use called Valley National. They're really good with relationships and working with people. But I don't know if they have anything in California. They're more East Coast.
Okay.
But,
Can I ask you another question?
And have you gone to any local banks?
Yeah. Oh my God. That's why I called you, because I put in so much time trying to crack this nut, and all I come up with the same nonsense. 7-year fixed, 5-4-3-2-1. 5-year fixed, 5-4-3. Same shenanigans.
Because you don't have a relationship. That's why you need a relationship.
Right, and I know I could get better terms with CMBS. They offer you everything under the sun, but then there's the fear that they can take over the property and put you into cash management with a hard lock box. And I thought,
you don't want all that shit.
I need no. I want recourse. And can I ask you another question?
Yes.
Okay, I know that in your roots were in apartments, which I've never purchased, but from what I understand, the financing is a lot better on apartments than it is on industrial parks, shopping centers, office buildings, the things I buy. And from what I understand, you can get a fully amortized loan, 25-year fixed rate, and the DCSR. Do they enforce that? In other words, in my business, that's always looming over me. Is what's going to happen in a recession? Like you have these shopping centers you're buying now. The DCSR ratio, that 1.25 or 1.3, that's always looming over me. I'm always thinking, what happens if we hit the next recession and half of my shopping center is empty, and they say, oh, you broke your 1.3 DCSR, you're in violation. If you don't put in a couple million in reserves, you're in default, and then they could just take your property from you. And I know you probably didn't have to sweat that in the apartment business, I'm guessing, but now you're doing the same kind of deals that I'm doing. And is that the case, that with apartments you don't really have to deal with that, but now you do?
Well, it's all about how the property's operating. If you're not meeting your debt ratio, then, once a year minimum, they're going to ask for your books, and they're going to say, okay, show us what the hell you're doing here. And if they say, hey, you're not doing so good, they could ask you to buy down some principal. But, that's why you should never over leverage. But the point is, multifamily, normally, if you're operating it properly, you'll always meet your debt ratio. But, there is always risk. I mean, in those other type of properties, it's risky because, if you lose a big tenant and your income goes way down, you're going to be in trouble. So, you got to make sure
that's not happening now because we're all doing great with Trump and the economy's awesome. But I'm thinking, what
retail's
happens
rough. Retail's rough. Retail's rough right now.
Right.
It's hard to refill the tenant.
It could be, but what I'm saying is in a recession, it would be much worse. And, half the center could be empty. The center I just bought in Vegas, I didn't even know this, but the largest tenant told me that when the recession hit last time in 2010, he said this entire 64,000 square foot center was empty. He said, I took all the space here. And I said, oh, my God, I didn't realize I bought something.
I mean,
and the bank took it.
There's definitely a risk. Retail is risky.
But that wasn't happening with apartments?
Apartments, normally, you don't have to worry about because,
that's what I was thinking.
Apartments are always in high demand. There's always people looking to rent apartments. You can always lower the rent a little if you have to. Normally you don't see it. It could happen in apartments, but, it's rare. And then, the bank's not just going to come in right away and take it back. They're gonna have to prove to them that you're not even trying, but before they just take action like that. But
really?
Definitely you need a relationship is what you need. You need a relationship with a guy that has the power over the loan officers. All right? You have a great day.
Okay.
We got to go. Take care. Good luck to you. You're doing well. Congratulations.
Thank you. You too. Continued success.
All right. Very good. This guy's rolling high. He's got $40 million worth of real estate. He's in L.A. He's in Vegas. He's a high roller. But he's a little cash poor because if you got $40 million in real estate, you really should have more than $1 million in the bank to protect your ass in case something goes down. And big deal. His numbers are like big five-digit numbers. There's plenty of people out there, and he's what 6-digit number. I don't know. I don't look at the last three. That's the problem. I don't count the dollars, the $10, and $100. So he's like a 7-figure, right? 8-figure.
Anyway, speaking of cash. On Twitter, somebody asked, what are your plans when this whole real estate bubble pops? Do you have cash on the side to jump in, or are you pulling it all out?
I, over 30 years, have built up enough cash to where if the market turns, I'm ready to buy. In fact, I've been pretty much just sitting on the sidelines. The only real estate I've been buying is to satisfy my 1031s. Otherwise, I have not been a buyer. I'm sitting back. I'm waiting to see, the market turn. And, unfortunately, it's not going to happen. I thought it was going to happen sooner, but it's not because the federal government just lowered the interest rates. And as long as they keep lowering interest rates and people don't have high mortgage payments, then, real estate's not going to come down, So, but yeah, you definitely should be stocking all your money now because it's not a good time to buy. It's a good time to save. So when it is a good time to buy, you have the money. But for the hungry guy out there, there's always a deal, okay? People every day, they tell me, hey, I found this deal. Well, he worked his ass off looking around and networking. And there's always going to be a deal out there, but you got to look harder and harder for him today. You got anybody else on the line? On the line.
Working on it.
Reel them in. Reel in that fishy. You know what's good is that we're not here to sell you nothing. I don't want your money. I don't want, nothing. Hey, how are you today? How can we help you?
Hey, what's up, Ben?
How are you? How can we help you?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, listen, I bought a property, a quadplex in an up-and-coming area just south of D.C., 1.2 million. I know it's kind of high, but some builders came in. They're building a bunch of stuff across the street. I have another interested buyer. He wants to go in on the deal with me to improve the property, build more units, and including some retail units. I have no idea how to go about this.
All right, you're sitting there with only 4 units, and you paid how much?
1.2 million for an acre plus.
Okay, so you have extra land on top of those 4 units that you can develop?
Yeah.
I mean, if you got the land and it makes sense, if you're sure what you're building is going to make money, you got to be really sure about the construction costs. But right now, how the heck are you cash flowing on 4 units? I mean, you got a loan on that thing?
Yeah.
So what do you owe? You owe probably about $1 million, don't you?
No, I owe about 300.
You only owe 300, and
Yeah,
you
we
paid
did cash
1.2.
I went in cash heavy.
Okay, well, it's probably a smart thing because you paid a lot of money. How much rental income is that 4 units going to bring in? How much does each unit rent for?
Each unit rents for $1,800.
1,800. That's a lot of rent, man. That must be some big shot neighborhood shit. So yeah, I mean, 18, yeah. So it's 36, and then 36. You got 7,200 a month almost coming in.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that's still a hefty price for 1.2 for $7,200 a month. Luckily, you don't have a lot of expenses on a fourplex, but I mean, luckily you don't have a big mortgage, and but now you're the one you already got 900 invested in this damn property. Is somebody else going to come in with the money to build on it, or are you going to refinance and try to build it? You would put money in yourself.
I want to put money in myself.
So you want to build? I mean, I right off the bat, my gut tells me. Have you looked into seeing how many more units, residential family units, you could build there?
Total units about 8.
8 more or 4 more?
8 more. 8 more.
I mean, well, if you're paying $250,000 for each unit or more, how much is a contractor going to charge you to build 8 more units per unit?
$750.
Huh?
$750.
You're going to build 8 units for only $750,000?
That's what it's looking like right now. Yes.
That's less than 100. That's less than $100,000 a unit.
Yep, it's retail units and.
No, wait. Be careful with the retail. Okay, are you sure that the retail is going to do well there? You're already doing well with the apartments. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. It's new territory for me. I have no idea, but he promises it will. Because what we did is we went to the county, and we looked at their plans, and there's a lot of movement happening in the area in terms of retail.
Okay, I'm just telling you my advice. My advice is, don't build retail unless you know and you have a tenant waiting to go in there. Okay, because I don't know. Is there any empty retail space around your property right now? Have you driven around?
Yeah, this is my neighborhood.
So is there any empty retail space, Felice? Are you seeing police signs on storefronts?
Okay, so there's a shopping center right across the street that was just acquired by another company, and there's big plans for it.
Plans schmans. Is there empty space there right now?
Yeah, some.
I'm telling you, I'm in retail, and I'm starting to get scared, okay? Retail, the only people you can rent to in retail these days is service-related type people, and they don't take up big spaces. If the apartments are working, and if you build those apartments, how much can you build just the units for? Why don't you start with the units? You're telling me you can build, what are you going to get for $750,000?
All right, well, if we're just going apartment units, it's about $125 a pop. The retail units are much smaller. They're like the ones you're talking about.
All right,
for
let me ask you this.
Someone in the service industry.
Are you zoned to build 8 more apartments there?
Yes.
And
I
how
can
much
build
is
8
each
more
apartment going
apartments.
to cost you? 125 a door now we're up to, or what?
For an apartment? Yeah.
Well, then, if you pay $250 and you can build them for $1.25, then you're doubling your money. That's a no-brainer. I'm telling you now, you better be careful with retail. Retail's kicking my ass right now because I can't re-rent it. Okay? I'm getting ready to lose $20,000 a month because of one shoe store that moved out. So, but the multifamily, you already got multifamily there. And if you can build units for $100 a quarter and rent them out for $1,800 a month, that's a home run. That's what you need to focus on. Don't let people, I don't know, it's up to you, but I would build the units because then worry about the retail. At least with the units, you know you can rent them. You know how much money you're going to get. You know you're going to double your value, and it's a home run. So, the retail, you don't have any track record, but you have 4 units there ready to have a track record.
Yeah.
Stick with the apartment, Bill. I'm telling you, stick with the apartments. If you can throw those units up for $1.25, and the day they're built, they're worth $250, and you can rent them out for $1,800 a month, and they're worth $250. Because where are you at? LA or something?
No, just south of Washington D.C.
Oh, I'm sorry, Washington D.C. Listen, stick to the rental units. Those have worked for you, and they'll keep working for you, and you're gonna double your money. You start building retail, it ain't doubling your money when you build a retail. I don't believe. I mean, but build the units first and build up all that equity in the property, and then think about throwing up how big of a retail you talking about doing? How many square feet?
Each unit, roughly 1,100 to 1,100.
How many?
4.
I don't know, man. I would definitely build, if you can build multifamily where you already have multifamily, then your 4 units turn into 12 units, and you're building them for 50 cents on what they're worth on the dollar, then that's the way to go. Focus on that. Let's see if you can accomplish that before you start drifting off into uncharted waters.
All right, that sounds good.
All right.
Hey Ben, I got one more question for you, please.
Okay.
All right. So this is in my neck of the woods, so the deal wasn't too difficult to research. I'm interested in looking at areas that are up and coming. What's the best way to do that, roughly, in my neighborhood? What sort of things should I be looking at? What kind of factors? What kind of data? How do I find these up and coming cities? And there seem to be a lot of them, but what do I look for?
Typically, it's where people are building homes. When you see big home developments going up, everything else follows. All the stores follow, the retail follows, the facility, everything follows. Typically, you want to look and see where the big shot developers are throwing up several hundred homes, and they're creating new neighborhoods. And then the retail comes in to support those homes. And then the people that support the retail need a place to live, and then the apartments come in. But it all starts, in my opinion, with the home developments. That's what creates neighborhoods. Or if you see big big office buildings going up, but I don't think you're going to see that right now. Wherever you see new construction and new money going, that's where it's at. Wherever you see the cranes. As soon as I drive into a city, I look for the cranes. If I see the big giant cranes, 100-foot or 1,000-foot up in the air, that's where the action is. So, look for where the action is. Where's the new construction going on? All right, you have a great day, and build those units. I'm telling you. Don't be fooling around. Build the units. All right, good night.
All right, thanks, Ben.
All right, very good. This guy's sitting around here with the potential of doubling his money. If he spends 8 times, he spends $1 million, he'll make $1 million. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We got food. Starving me over here.
What did you order?
I don't know.
The works?
All right, so what else we got? Somebody else? All right, come on, call them up. We ain't got all damn day, man.
Wait, we gotta set up the phone.
All right, don't worry about that.
What do you want? What did you get?
I want to talk to people and get the hell out of here,
All
God
right.
damn it.
What'd you get?
I don't know. Just eat yours. A gyro.
Gyro.
Steak sandwich. I don't know. Look for the gyro. All right, what do we got?
Gyro.
Where's your fries at you wanted so bad? They didn't give it. They always cheat you out of something. Uber Eats always cheat you out of something. Hey, how are you today? How can we help you?
Hey, how's it going, Ben? Big fan.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So, quick question for you. I'm in Houston, and I'm looking to get into multifamily. Just the first question is, why did you leave the Houston area?
Because Houston is another country. All right? They got their own goddamn rules. They do everything a different way. They ain't got no state tax, but they kick your ass on the school tax on top of the property tax. And I was there at a bad time. I was there when Katrina happened, and the crime rate went through the roof, and people were desperate. It was dangerous. And I don't know, Texas just didn't work. I made a lot of money in Houston here and there, but it wasn't somewhere I could stay. But anyway, there's definitely opportunity there. I mean, Houston's got a major multifamily market. I mean,
Right.
you go to any brokerage website, you're going to find all kinds of stuff in Houston for sale. I mean, Houston's a big place. I was stuck in Pasadena. I had 1,000 units on one block. It almost killed me, but we made it through. And then I was all over. I was in
didn't try to
Greenspoint.
invest in any other parts?
I was everywhere. I was on Clear Lake. I was on Nassau Road 1. I was in Houston. I was in Guns Point. I was anywhere I could find a hot deal. If I could buy it, at a good price, and I knew the place with cash flow, I bought it. I fixed them up a little, stabilized, and I sold them. But, Houston's a big market, but you're going to find your better deals in the tougher neighborhoods,
Right.
And that's where you
Right. Did you
probably
do
got to
Section
go.
8?
Hell yeah. Always rent the Section 8 whenever you can. If you go in a rough
Awesome.
neighborhood in Houston, you better rent the Section 8 because,
Awesome.
it is a tough crowd out there. So, I would definitely start looking for deals in the neighborhoods that are kind of tough if you want to make some money. But, it ain't easy money.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
Good luck to
Sounds
you.
good.
All right, take
Thanks,
care.
man.
Bye-bye. Houston. I don't know.
What did
Houston's
you
a
do
tough
this weekend,
town.
Dad? What'd you do? Actually,
As usual, you ruined my weekend. You want to ruin your weekends? Have kids. It's all about the kids. Friday night, he's got to go to a school dance. So fine.
Yep.
We got to wait around for him to school dance. We're stuck. There goes up Friday night.
that was Vincent, not you.
Doesn't matter. I'm still hanging around. Saturday night, he had to go to cotillion, whatever the heck that is. I don't know. A bunch of kids go in a room,
10 girls.
and they teach you how to eat properly and dance the cha-cha or something. So Saturday night, you had an event. So that screwed up my Saturday night. And here I am on Sunday. So basically, because of the kids and because of trying to help Rafal over here and life for sale, I got no life.
Not life or so. Oh, yeah, it is.
Your life's going to be for sale soon, but nobody will pay me anything. Have you thought about going away to that boarding school?
Yeah, I have, actually.
When you're ready to go, let's go pay a trip there and visit it.
1.8.
Let's do a video where we take Aaron to go visit a boarding school that he can live at
Listen,
and go to school. The same school that Trump went to. Is it still open?
yes, it's open. New York Military
And
Academy.
it's co-ed.
If you give me 1.8
I'll send
million,
you and Alani there to keep each other company.
that's like a down. That's a downside.
Listen, worry about graduating high school.
Listen,
then
if
you
you
earn
give
the
me
money.
1.8 million,
Yeah,
if I
right.
graduate from there, will you give me 1.8?
I'll give you $1.80. 1.8. Big shot. Must be nice being the youngest child born into the money.
Actually, not
Your
really.
brothers earned it.
I know they earned it.
All you do is spend it.
Not true.
So what else we got? But that's going to change when you're 18. And then your mother's hooks get out of you. Because once her hooks aren't in you anymore, I'm going to get my hooks in you.
Good.
You're going to be changing bed sheets at the Ramada Hotel.
I'm ready.
All right, caller, how are you? Who are you?
Hey,
Hey.
can't believe it's Ben.
I don't
My
believe
name's
it's
Kevin.
me
I'm in
either.
Washington State.
Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, very good.
Ground zero for the coronavirus.
Corona, yeah. What the hell you guys doing over there?
Hoarding toilet paper, apparently.
Man, Washington State. You're not even close to China, are you?
I think there's a boat that goes in between.
Oh, yeah. Washington. I think I've been to Washington. I caught a cruise ship
Yeah,
to
from-
Hawaii. I mean, to
to
Alaska, right?
Yeah.
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 So how can we help you today?
Well, I was just wondering, during the 2008, the crash of the housing market, Airbnb didn't exist, but now it does. So I'm wondering how much Airbnb is contributing to the current housing prices and maybe staving off the popping of the bubble.
Airbnb has definitely taken a lot of money out of the hotel business, billions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, banks don't like to loan on them is the problem. You can't go to a bank and say, hey, I got four Airbnb apartments here I'm renting out. They don't really like it. So, because you're not in the hotel business, you're not in the multifamily business, you're kind of in a middle space somewhere. So the problem with Airbnb is, people do well, but they're earning it. Airbnb is not real estate to me. Just like a hotel business is not real estate. It's a business. You got to provide sheets and plates and forks and all this shit and cleaning and bookings and people moving in and people moving out. So, for people that didn't want it, you will get paid more money, but you're going to earn that money. And it's not consistent like an annual lease. Annual lease, you give somebody, they pay every damn month, and if something breaks, you might fix it, and that's the end of it. Airbnb is a business. So, but it's definitely just like the whole thing with Uber. People have created now ways to make extra income, and it's great because now nobody can complain, oh, I can't make any money, I'm starving. Bullshit. Get in your car and go join Uber and go make some money. Or, take your rental property and start running it more like a hotel and probably double your income, but you're going to earn it. You're not getting it for free. But it's just something that exists now. It's the way of the world. It's progression. All right, you doing
So how
it?
much do you think these Airbnb businesses are displacing the housing?
I mean,
housing
but they keep building more housing. So, I mean, I don't think we're at a housing shortage. So as long as people, there's always going to be a supply. As long as there's a demand for housing, somebody's going to be there supplying it. Okay? So, if people feel like a lot of rental units, big shot developers say, oh, shit, all these rental units this guy had are now off the market. Now they're at Airbnb. Well, I'll build some more rental units. I mean, we're always overbuilt, in my opinion. There's always places to live, and people are always building new shit. Every time I drive down the street, I see a new giant complex going up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What do you got going on?
It's a long story.
Oh, boy. We ain't got that much time. All
I
right.
got that much.
Listen, good
Stop
luck to you.
stealing Aaron's fries.
Why? Well, he steals everything from me. All right. You have a great day, sir. And good luck to you.
Thanks for calling, Ben. It was good talking to you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Today I'm having a gyro because we couldn't get Firehouse subs.
Corona. I bet that's why.
And I'm eating a gyro instead of pastrami. Pretty good. All right. Don't chew in the mic. It's rude.
Ben,
Hey, how are you? How you doing today?
doing good. Yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. How can we help you?
So I spoke to you about this like a week or two ago, and basically it was that $17 million deal, Daytona Beach. We spoke how it was like it wasn't a good deal, right? So
La
I passed on
Playa.
that. Yeah, the La Playa. So now I basically have a family friend. It's an off-market deal, right? I'm looking at 7.5 acres, Daytona Beach shores, beachfront. Also, a couple of the parcels are across the street, so it's some of the commercial pieces. In this project also comes 110 hotel rooms, 49 multifamily units, and we're getting an open parcel of land, which is also beachfront. Asking is $17 million. I just don't know how to evaluate if this is a good price or not.
Well, I mean, you got to sit down and figure out, what the heck is.
I'm basically getting it for 2.2 an acre, so to say.
I'm not a land guy, okay? I look at how much money. When I buy a deal, I need that cash flow. Because I got my investment, I got the mortgage, I got the taxes, I got the insurance.
Well, it's already cash flowing. You have a 110 unit hotel on there, like running, and it's in great condition. Plus, they have 49 multifamily units.
Okay, but what kind of cash flow is there? And you better be careful
That's
with that
the thing,
hotel.
the numbers.
You got to look at it's all about the numbers, because you're talking about a $17 million deal.
Yeah.
That's a big friggin' number. You got 49 apartments. So the 49 apartments on the damn beach? That's hard to believe.
Yeah, on the water beach, yep. As is the hotel.
49 separate units on the beach. I mean, you got to look at the numbers and see how much the rent is, what's the costing to run it, how much your NOI is, and then you got to look at the hotel. And, you got to, let me tell you, with the hotel, you better look closely at the numbers. And, with this whole virus going on, hotels are taking a beating,
See, that was my biggest concern. Is like, you have seasons, this, that. I mean, you own hotels.
Listen, hotels are not real estate. Hotels are a business. I keep telling everybody that. A hotel is a business. It goes up, it goes down. 1 month you might lose your shirt. The next month you might make up for it. It's a 24-hour operation. You got to have good people running it. You got to make sure that clients are happy. It's a lot of work, trust me. So, and it can be lucrative, but you got to, and you can't just sit back and expect other people to run it. You got to be involved. But, right off the bat, if you got 49 units right there at a minimum, I mean, are they really nice units? Are they decent?
Yeah, they're decent units. I'm not going to say they're like luxury. They're just, they're the decent type, I would say. I would think probably they're getting probably like 1,000, maybe a little more.
All right. Well, and then the hotel's decent too?
Yeah, the hotel's real nice. I mean,
is all the real estate that's built up on the ocean front?
Sorry, what did you say?
Is all the built up real estate you're buying on the ocean front?
Yeah, ocean
and
front.
And then the empty land is across the street and all that shit spread out?
Well, no, the empty land is also ocean front as well. And then across the street, I have like land with just commercial, commercial properties on it that I could go out and find tenants if I want, I guess, and put them in there.
I mean, right off the bat, you got the 101 rooms. It's worth $10 million. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers, but if it's ocean front, it's worth at least 100 a door. All right. And then you got the 49 units. They're worth at least 100 a door. So right off the bat, you got 15 million there, maybe more. I haven't seen the numbers, but I would think at a minimum, you got 15 million bucks on the real estate. And then, the other land, should be worth maybe, it could be a really good deal, depending on what your plan is for the land. You're going to sell it to a developer. How far are you from the new Hard Rock?
Oh, it's probably like maybe a mile max.
That's it? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a good deal, but you better look at the numbers. You got to look at all the money coming in and all the money going out, and you better look at it over, a full solid year. Because
so when I go on your website, it says "Ask Ben." I could pay $100 so we can have a little more in-depth conversation. So do you think maybe I could schedule something?
Yeah, you can schedule something, but do me a favor before you schedule it.
Okay.
Before you schedule it, have your numbers ready, all right? Make sure you got the numbers ready for us to go over what the income is and what the expenses are, so we can make, some serious, some serious conversation.
And everything before we actually, get down to it.
All right, well, get the due diligence package on it.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can send it to me. You can send it to me because I'll guarantee you I don't want to buy nothing in Daytona. I'm sorry, but I spent some years there and I wasn't very happy.
You wouldn't want to buy anything in Daytona, really?
Listen, everything it depends on the price. There's everything, there's a price that'll satisfy anybody, but my experience in Daytona was rough. Okay, I'm sorry, but then I may not have been in a nicer area. My property might not have been as nice as this one. I don't know. I used to own the Mayan Hotel by the pier.
What, the Mayan that you have?
I owned the Mayan, But then again, I had hurricanes kicking my ass. We couldn't find help to work in the damn place. The clientele was pretty rough. Daytona's a cool place, but it can get rough, you're not getting big money in Daytona. There's not even a decent restaurant. The only decent steakhouse was in the hotel, the big Hilton, I think, next door. Otherwise you're eating in the damn IHOP. All right, well, get a hold of me and we'll talk numbers, okay? Take care. Good luck. All right. How are you? Everybody? Hey, Vincent's here. He finally woke up.
Vincent.
It's daylight savings time. He lost an hour. You know, you've been in my house all damn weekend, but I only seen you once for like 5 minutes when you came and you stole a sausage off my grill last night. You know, you've been hanging out with all your little old friends, all your buddies, you know, because your girlfriend went away for the weekend, and you're just sitting around all depressed. Oh, what do I do? I'm going to go talk to my old buddies and hang out.
I don't know if depressed is the right word.
You sound jealous.
Not jealous.
What? We're
Just
relaxing this
describing the
weekend.
situation.
Every weekend I come down, it's like chauffeuring you around and just, I mean, you weren't doing much either. You already had a chauffeur, so you didn't need me. That's all you use me for anyway.
You know, hey, yeah, I use you. Yeah, I use you. I think it's the other way around.
What'd you get?
I'm being used. Used and abused.
You don't take us to Busch Gardens or anything like
well,
that.
he wanted to go to. He's talking about 10:45 at night. He wants to go to Busch Gardens. What time do you think they close? 11.
Yeah.
And it takes you 30 minutes to get
He
there.
said 2. I don't think they close at 2.
No, that's during
Anybody out there, please? Anybody?
college school or whatever it's called.
Hey, how are you today? It's Ben. How you doing? How can we help you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Pretty good. What's up? What are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm looking for interest rate. Is what I'm looking for.
You're looking for an interest rate? I'm not a bank. Sorry.
Yeah.
Next call.
Look,
I borrow money. I don't loan money. What do you want to do? You want to borrow
Yeah.
money?
no, I'm looking. What's the best interest rate for this time period? I guess
It
I can't
depends
find
on-
interest
it
rate
de-
lower than 8%.
8%.
7%.
7%. What type of you're trying to borrow money against? What type of asset?
A single family home.
A single family home. All right. What's your credit score?
800.
Holy shit, 800. Rates have gone down below 3 right now for single family. Are you living in it?
No, this would be rental.
It's a rental.
Second rental property. Mm-hmm.
Still should be a low rate. I don't know. Where are you going to the mafia for 8%, 7%? I mean, come on. The banks are loaning it at 3%. Are you allowed to go to FHA for non-owner occupied? Can somebody look that up? I don't know. I never did FHA in my life, but I know they're good loans. I mean, have you sat down? What banks are you going to? The Bank of Tony? What? Where are you going?
I've gone to all the local banks here, which Union Squares, Jacksboro National, and all the local banks here in town.
Where are you at?
Texas, Wichita Falls.
That don't make sense. You need to go to Wells Fargo. 800 score? I never heard of anybody with 800 score. You walk into the bank and you got a tenant in there paying your rent, right?
Yes. I already have one set up ready to go.
Oh, is the tenant's not in there yet?
Tenant's not in there yet. Yeah, I'm purchasing. I'm working on purchasing some home.
Oh.
It's in contract right now, but yes.
Listen, and go to Wells Fargo. They're a big Texas bank, California, Texas. Go to a big bank and say, here, I'm buying this house. I need a loan. They're not going to charge you more than about 3.5%. You know? Maybe tops 4 because you're renting it out. I don't know, but there's no way in hell you got to pay 7. That's crazy. You know? You can even go, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you, I met some, I was trying to help this teacher out, you know, and he was buying a house. He went to Quicken. I mean, it was a homeowner. He was occupying a house. I mean, he went to Quicken, and he said he got a lot of good feedback from there. So I don't know. There's things you can go online, but I would just walk into the biggest bank you want to go. Go to the big banks. You know, go to Wells Fargo, go to B of A, go to wherever, and say, hey, I got a rental house. I want a loan on it. They'll give you a rate somewhere in the 3s. All right? Good luck to you. Take care.
Yeah, I'll try a big one. All right, thank you.
Go big, go big. In Texas, everything's big. And here's a big gyro.
Where'd you get these from?
Seminole subs and gyros.
All right. We got
Anyways,
anybody else
yeah.
ready to go?
I think somebody asked me. I think it was Rafal asked me, what was the worst date you've ever been on?
Date? Mean like
Date.
personal?
Yeah, like personal.
I'm not discussing anything about my personal life. And so your mother can come home
50
and
years
kill
ago.
me.
Trying to get them in trouble?
The worst date I ever went
Don't
on?
listen to
Worst date you've
Rafal.
ever
I
been
told
on.
you, don't listen
It
to
was
Rafal.
with your mother 13 years ago. How old are you? 13. Well, 13 and 9 months ago. All right.
Did you help anybody yet today?
I don't know. We're trying.
help somebody out.
I
I
wish
want you to
everybody
help
would just
somebody.
go out there and buy some real estate and have something. Own something.
What's up, Ben?
Hey, how are you today? How the hell are you? How can we help you?
This is my question. I know you moved up in real estate. You started with the lower end stuff, and you moved up. Investment seems to be more at least from in my experience on the lower end stuff. What's your opinion on that? I've bought houses that were $300,000 and rented them out, and you get $2,000 a month. And I've bought houses that were $30,000 and you get $800 a month. You know what I mean? You can buy a lot of $30,000 houses with the same money you can for the one nice one.
You're exactly right. So that's why I bought a whole bunch of the low end stuff. I'd rather put less money out there,
right?
And get more return on my.
Or did you keep it?
Listen, it's always better to me if you put out less money and get a better return. It's all about the return you're getting on your investment. How much cash flow are you getting, and how little money do you got to put into it? Another good thing about the small properties, the cheaper properties, is that not shortly after, shortly after, you can refinance and get all your money back. So now, let's say you're making $300 or $400 clear on a unit after you pay everything, and you got no money invested. That means what return is that? That's like you have no money
ridiculous.
invested. It's an infinity return. That's why.
My question is though, is that because I didn't have nobody to teach me this stuff. I had to learn it all myself. So originally I thought, well, I want to have nice houses.
Nice,
but I realized, but you realize you're not going to make the same return as if you get in the trenches, so to speak. So I guess I'm asking.
You have
obviously
pride
the
of ownership.
return is in the trenches. What's that?
Listen, that's the story. You know the whole game. You want nice shit, you're going to pay for it. You have pride of ownership. Well, pride of ownership ain't going to pay your bills. Go and find the stuff that's going to make you money. Find the cheap stuff that you can fix up, rent it out, go Section 8, go wherever you got to do. Buy it as cheap as you can.
Did you get out of the cheap places? Like when you said you started off with apartment buildings in the hood.
I've never had a Class A building in my life. I've never. I mean, I'm not going to pay the price. I had a student property that was okay once.
Those are trophy assets. Is a big difference until you get to that point of where you're comfortable with how much money you made. And
then you say to yourself, "Why did I buy it?" It's all about the cash flow. It's all about making money.
A quick example of my area, and we've talked about it before. I paid $12,000 for a house that's move-in ready, and it rents for $750 a month.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's your gotcha. That's like a golden goose. Okay.
Right. And I'm asking myself, why the hell are people selling? This lady was 75 years old, and she didn't want to mess with it no more. She'd been renting for 40 years. But why the hell are people buying these nicer houses? Because everybody's telling me, like, oh man, you got to stay with the nicer stuff. People take better care of it. But that's not necessarily true.
There you go. Well, you got the experience. You've been doing it every day, so you know what gets you the best return. And
I just wondered if there was a point.
You want to live in a nice house, okay, for yourself.
Yeah.
But when it comes to rentals, you want to buy the cheapest property you can that's going to get you the most rent. If you can buy a cheap property in a good neighborhood, God bless you. It doesn't matter. The numbers you're talking about, those numbers make sense to wealth. Buying something for $20,000 or $30,000 and renting out for $700 a month, $750 a month, that makes sense. And sense makes dollars. So stay the hell out of good fancy schmancy houses where you got no goddamn cash flow. Plus, those houses, when the market turns, they're going to lose money. The cheaper houses can't lose no money.
Is, in the event that I was born and raised in the city, Rockford, Illinois, outside Chicago. The houses have seemed to always stay right around the same price. The past 40 years, they've just seemed to be at the right in the same market. They've never went up. They've never went down. Even when the recession hit in like 07, 08, when the market crashed, these houses stayed the same because they were worthless to start with, and they're worthless now. You know what I mean? Nobody's. I don't think there's a $50,000 house in the town.
mean,
You know what I mean?
They change. I'm sure the price changed a little bit, but yeah, I mean, you're talking about pennies, which to some people is a
less-
big jump, but to you,
less,
it's
yeah.
it's pennies right
Listen,
now.
you
but
better
it's
stick to buying
definitely
up every
jumps.
goddamn house you can buy that you know you can rent for at $700 or $800 a month. If you can buy any house for $40,000, $30,000, $20,000, $10,000, you get out there and buy every goddamn one you can. Forget about the nice shit. The nice shit will end up putting you in a goddamn hole.
And then the final question: how do you? I've had crews. I've got construction crews before. Had complete crews, plumbers, this, that. They all fall apart. The guys are. They all got bad habits. They're all no license.
That's
They all
construction
got,
for you.
That's the nature of the
gotta
business.
Move on. Keep going.
Keep looking.
Please, he's still finding new people here and there. I mean, even him. I mean, come
Listen,
on now.
going through it on a
You
regular.
gotta
You're
keep
gonna
looking.
you're gonna go through that.
You know, you keep working a guy until he's working good for you. When he stops working good for you, then you cut him loose. You know, go on Craigslist and keep looking for people. You know, and just keep until you find some good people.
Yeah.
You'll know when they're good, they'll be around for a long time. But
a lot
you know,
of the guys are like, they'll try to tell you this is a guy that pulls up on a bicycle, and he'll be like, well,
Yeah,
you know,
forget that.
plumbers get 150 an hour, and I'll say, well, you're not a plumber, you're on a bike.
Yeah,
and
you
it
gotta
hurts
have
their
standard.
feelings.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
well, listen. You know, you're a smart guy. You know who to hire. You know, you want to hire somebody that you know is going to get the goddamn job done and not rip you off. You know, so and always make them bid the goddamn job if they're not working by the hour. But good luck to you. But go out there and buy the shit out of every cheap house you can that you know you can
Trying,
rent
I'm
out.
selling the expensive ones that I have right
Dump
now.
the
I'm dumping
expensive
everything that's
There's
over
no cash flow in them.
150.
There's no
Yeah, I'm
goddamn
getting
return
rid
on
of
your
everything
investment.
that's over 150.
Go out there and buy the shit out of. And there's a lot of people that don't make a lot of money, but they're still good people that you can rent to. You know, those are the people that need housing. And go with Section 8 wherever you can.
I stayed away from the Section 8 here just because, but I know that you recommend Section 8, but I've stayed away from it here just because I've had a lot of problems with it in this area.
Well, you
They
got to
tend to
pick your
tear stuff
tenants.
up.
I'm not, you know, there's good and bad in every market, but you still got to screen your tenant, and you got to run them
Right.
strict, you know. But these days, I think Section 8 is a lot better now because the housing authority, if they cause any kind of serious trouble, they might lose their Section 8. They don't want to do that. So, you know, you just got to run it right, you know, and you got to pick your good tenants.
And
And,
everybody knows the best Section 8 tenant. I mean,
a
it's just
senior.
is a senior.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
If
cream
you
of the
get
crop
any
right
one
there.
bedrooms, try to go senior.
I mean, it's
You know?
So you got to do little.
But for the
things
3 bedrooms, you
like
got to go families. And then, if there's any potential of adding on more bedrooms, do that too, because that's what they pay by the bedroom.
The senior citizens seem to swarm you anywhere time you get near. I got a 8. It's a 4 and a 4. You know, duplex or whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah,
It's an 8
yeah,
family.
that's one of the problems too. Yeah, that's just gonna happen
As soon
too.
as you pull up, every old person's outside. They're like, my faucet's not new. I don't like the way the carpet looks. And you're like, Jesus Christ. I almost started thinking about not renting to old people just because they'll take up so much of your time.
You know, it's funny. I have the opposite experience. They don't break shit. They don't use shit.
You still
They
got
don't
to
do-
No, they
screen.
don't. No, they don't break nothing.
There's
They
They
still
don't
some.
cause
complain.
problems. They don't have fights. They don't have the police over.
Some
They're
of
not
them
dealing
don't.
drugs.
I mean, not all seniors
I
are
don't know.
angels.
Listen, you know, if a $10 faucet shuts a senior up, then God bless him. Give him the friggin' $10 faucet at Home Depot. I mean, you know, you work with them. Whatever's reasonable, you do for them. But, you know, and then you just want somebody to bitch to sometimes, you know?
That's exactly
So,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
so big deals. That's part of being a landlord. Oh, yeah, okay, well, we'll look into it. Maybe I can come up with the money next year. Or maybe I'll have your carpet cleaned instead of replacing it. I do that a lot. You know, you give them a little something. You know, you should always try to be nice to the tenant and give them a little something. Or sometimes they just want to talk to you for about 10 minutes. You know, because they got nobody. So that's part of the
Is there
game.
at any point you recommend hiring a management company?
Well, when
They
you
seem to
when you
take up
feel
a
like
lot
you
of the.
when you feel like you can't manage it, you got too much shit. Then, but otherwise, it's always best to manage it yourself. If you can handle a job, you do the job. Nobody else is going to protect your property and protect your money like you are. You know, they're going to push
Right.
your money away. You know, but once you get big enough, then you can hire maybe just one person to help you. But, you know, go out there and buy the shit out of every cheap house you can in your neighborhood and make that goddamn money. All right?
All right, appreciate
All right,
it, guys.
good luck
have
to
a
you.
good one.
Take care. Thanks a lot. buying houses at $12,000.
I mean, that's
I spent
you can't lose,
$12,000 on a hotel stay in Key West. You were there in the same room with
Don't
me.
put me.
That room was $1,000 a night. We had it was a 2-bedroom,
Yeah.
and we stayed there like 3 nights, and then I had another room for Aaron and Paulie, a little regular room. That was like $800 a night. When I walked out of that goddamn hotel, I had a $10,000 bill.
Yeah.
This guy just bought a house for $12,000. He's renting out for $8,000 a year.
Yeah.
Boy, am I stupid.
I mean, I've been seeing them on the market too.
Let's
I've
all
been
go
looking.
and rent a house. Let's go buy some houses and stay in them.
I mean, in
Verification.
Florida, you can still get a
I'm
house.
mixing apples and oranges.
You can still get a house for like 60, 70, 80 grand out here in Florida.
Where?
In the rougher areas, but all over. I'm seeing them right now. You can look them up. But all over Tampa, anywhere in Pinellas County. I mean, not anywhere, but they're out here still. Not 12,000, but 80,000. There's some that are rented out
He just
right
went
now.
up to 80. See how quick he went from
I said
60 to
60,
80?
70, 80. That's cheap.
Maybe.
Anyway, Dad,
All right. We got anybody else who needs some help today?
hey, how do you feel about Mrs. Murphy loans?
Who?
Miss Murphy loans. Mrs. Murphy loans. You know what that is? It's like, all right, it's like a
Is that a
loan.
joke or what?
No, it's not a joke. It's what they call it. It's a loan for multiple dwelling units where you live in one of the units and you rent out the others. So it's like that.
That's
type of loan.
called owner occupied.
Same thing.
FHA will do them. VA will do them. Banks will do them. Anybody, if you live in there and you're renting out the other rooms, apartments, anybody will be happy to give you a loan because you're living there. So I don't know about Mrs. Murphy and, but I don't know. I know about Fanny. I know about Freddie and that whole family. What else we got? Rafal. He doesn't like it if I call him Rafool. I only call him Rafool when he screws up.
Sometimes you call him Ralph. I think he gets
No, he
more
hates
mad
Ralph.
at
You don't
that.
like that American name, Ralph. Hey, Ralphie, Ruffy boy. So you got more callers. I'm going to take my trike out for a ride today. How cold is it? Is it going to get warmer? I don't want to get sick.
Not that cold. Oh my
God.
God.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Please, at the sound, your name, phone number, and the reason why you called, and I will
Leave a voicemail. Every time you get a voicemail, you should have him leave them a voicemail.
and have a blessed day. And thanks for calling.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
You have a collect call from the San Quentin Federal Penitentiary. Will you accept the charges? Beep. So anyway, I was telling Aaron what I used to do when I had, was sitting around. We had nothing to do in Far Rockaway. So for fun, we sat there, me and my friends. Well, I was like a lot younger than him. I was like 8 or 9. And back then, they didn't care. They didn't ask for credit cards and all that over the phone. So we'd order like 10 pizzas to our neighbor. And then we'd peek out the curtain in the window and watch the delivery guy go and knock on the door with these 10 giant pizzas. And I don't know goddamn pizza. What the hell? And a fight would break out. Pizza be flying everywhere. It would cause a major disaster. But we started running out of pizza guys that we could pull it on. So then we moved to the Chinese takeout place. And I had, you remember, I was a friend of mine. He was your Uncle William. And William was a tough guy, let me tell you. William, if you went out with William, you were getting into a fight that night. He was a fighting type. And I remember we went out to the club, and back then we come back at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey, you still there? Sorry about that.
Hey, Ben.
I was just telling a story about how we ordered my friend. We come home at 5 o'clock in the morning from the club, and he was a real tough guy. You didn't want to mess with this guy. And then, as soon as the Chinese place would open at like 10 in the morning, I would call him up and I'd order like $100 worth of Chinese food to his apartment. And then I would stay, I would listen and see. I'd listen out the other apartment, the Chinese guy banging on the door. You open up! You want the Chinese food! I don't want no goddamn Chinese food! Get the hell away from my door! It was hilarious. That's what I did with my sense of humor. Hey, how are you today? How can we help you?
Ben, what's up, man? From Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Yeehaw! Ride 'em, cowboy.
Man, this place is blowing up like the stock market.
Yeah, I wish
before the
somebody would
coronavirus.
blow up Houston. I'm just kidding. I did my time in that jail.
Hey, Ben, real quick, I got two questions. The first question is probably easy for you. I got plenty of money on the sidelines, but I don't know why. I'm just too busy with my company to make bigger plays in real estate. That's not my thing. So I used to live in a 12-story high-rise unit. I'd say an average unit goes for about $200,000 to $300,000. The only problem is the maintenance fee's $1,200 a month. I found a unit at a cash deal in that same building for $140,000. You think I should buy it and put 10 grand, 15 grand down and rent it out at cost for the next 10 years to be able to sell it later on for about $300,000? I used to live in that building and I sold my unit for $275,000.
Can't you just buy it and flip it? Because you're not gonna have no
I
cash
can,
flow.
but
What?
there is no cash flow, but I'm looking at the upside selling it later on because there's another high-rise unit going up across the street. It's in the Galleria area. So it's prime time location, Galleria and Memorial.
I know the gallery. I used to go to P.F. Chang's over there.
Yeah, so I can flip it. The thing is that $1,200 a month is going to be racking up. Then I got to put that shit on the market and blah, blah, blah. You know, the wait time. I'm just thinking about just parking some money somewhere.
Can
Let
you?
somebody else pay it off.
Can you rent it month to month? And then this way, you're not coming out the pocket every month of the expenses. The rent's going to cover the expenses, right? How much are you going to rent it for?
I'd say $2,200. The mortgage is $1,000.
Okay. You're going to be able to rent it for that much?
Oh, easily. Yeah, it's a nice community. It's about the average.
How far is it from a Rolls Royce dealer? I used to go to the Rolls Royce dealer on what street, what freeway was that? You know what I'm talking about?
I can't remember.
Well, the Rolls Royce dealership's new right now. It's off of 610.
It's not in the same place? I don't know. I used to go there. Even they were kind of shady. But anyway, if you can rent it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, how about you do this? Why don't you do this? Can you rent it on a short-term lease, and then while you're renting it, you're looking for a buyer. But you know, maybe can you rent it out for a 7-month lease or a 6-month lease? And then while you're renting it, I wouldn't buy it and keep it and just break even for all that time, because what do you do when the market if the market turns on you? You know, right? I would buy it.
Grandma living there paying it off.
All right, paying off the mortgage. You know.
I mean, is there any updates that you can do to it to sell it for more money? I mean, if you're in, you said you're in, it's in Fort Lauderdale, right? So it's all about crazy style out there.
How
People
quick
pay
will it
big money.
sell? How long did it take you to sell your last unit?
About 6 months. I bought it for $120 during the recession back in 2007, 2008, and I flipped it for $275 about, I'd say, 10 years later.
All right, so how about this? If you buy it right now, all right, you don't want to shell out that your costs are going to be $2,200 a month. I mean, you don't want to bleed yourself $2,200 a month. I mean, you could try it for 6 months. You'll blow 15 grand out of your profit, but you can do that. You could hold that sucker. You could buy that sucker tomorrow, put that sucker up for sale, and then, you stand to make about how much? 150 grand on it?
I'd say, well, what I have to do is put about 50 grand, put 2 brand new stand-up showers, put some nice marble countertops in the kitchen.
Now you're down to 100
and I could
grand.
possibly get 250, 260.
All right, 250. So when you're paying 140, you're only talking about making 50 grand here when all the smoke clears at best, right?
Yeah, it's a waste of
All right.
time. I'm
So
just
50
saying,
grand.
is it worth it or just a waste of time?
I mean, the problem is, how are you going to fix it up? If you put a tenant in it right away, you're not going to be able to fix it up, right?
Well, if I get a tenant in it, they're just paying it off.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that, but how long is it going to take you to pay it off? You're not talking about 30 years now, are you?
No, get a 15-year loan.
You know what I would do if I was you? You know what I would do?
Years, just pay it off.
I would try this. I mean, it's up to you. I'd buy that thing as cheap as I can, and after you do all that work and go to the market and try to sell it, pay commissions, it sounds like at best you're gonna make less than 50 grand. I'd buy that sucker tomorrow for $140, and I'd put it on the market for $199. And just make the 50 now. Let the next guy fix it up. Let him spend the extra 50 grand. I mean, do you think you could sell it tomorrow?
Here's the problem.
What?
The problem is the guy has it listed for 155. He can't even get rid of it.
Well, then the demand's not there to sell it. It don't sound like a good flip to me. If he can't sell it right now, 150. If he can't sell it at 155 right now, and then if he's asking 155, everybody's gonna come in at 130, 140, and he can't sell it. Then there's no demand. There's no demand, and you know, you throw
There's
in a couple
demand in
of
that building if you renovate it properly. You put 50 to 60 grand, you could easily get 260, 250, 275 if you're lucky.
Nobody wants to do the
But
work.
that's down the road.
Well, you know, if you feel that strongly about it, then you need to just buy it and fix it up and carry it maybe for a few months, and then if you can't sell it, then rent it out. You know, throw the risk of about 3 months of trying to sell it for $6,000. Fix it up and sell it within 3 months, and then you're gonna burn up $2,200 at $6,600. But you know, if you're gonna make $50,000, it's the cost of doing business. And then if you can't sell it, after the first 90 days for that $250, then you better hurry up and rent it to protect your cash. You know, protect the.
Well, then if I rented, then I'm out 10 grand down payment. I'm out 50 grand renovation fees. I'm out 60K out of my pocket just to make $200-300 cash flow.
Well, you know, but you're talking about the reason why is because you hold it until you pay off the loan. But I don't know. It doesn't sound, if he can't sell that thing right now for 150, I wouldn't be buying it for 140 because you're not the only guy out there. You're not the only guy out there looking to buy something and fix it up. There's plenty of people out there. So there's a reason why people aren't doing it.
But a lot of people are scared of the high-rise maintenance fees at $1,200.
Hell yeah, there's a lot to be scared about. So, you know, that's why I just gave away my office building for exactly what I paid for it, just to get away from the goddamn monthly fees of about $600 or $800. You know, so
Yeah, I saw that episode.
I don't know. It sounds kind of risky to me. You know, if he can't sell it and you go in and fix it up a little, you think somebody's gonna pop up and pay $100,000 more than he's asking? I would think somebody would buy it now and fix it up themselves and save $50,000.
All right.
It's kind of risky. All right. Good luck to you.
Hold on, Ben. One more question. Second question.
All right, let's go.
I just purchased a $3.5 million office building. It's 90,000 square feet. I got about 40 to 50 office units in there, plus warehouse space that I'm currently operating out of that I'm planning on moving out within the next 6 months to a bigger facility. You think I should sell this as a complete gut job on the inside, so it's going to cost me about $500,000 to put it back together. You think I should sell it, or do you think I should fix it up and rent out individual office units?
How much can you sell it for tomorrow? You're into it for $30 a square foot, sounds like, right?
Yeah, I can't sell it for shit tomorrow. I bought the building off my dad. I'm taking an L on it. If I sell it tomorrow. I bought it for 3.5. It's appraised for 2.8, but it's in a great business park in Houston.
Well, if you do fix it up and invest the money, are you sure there's a demand to rent it out?
No, I have no idea.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, my problem right now is I went into retail, and I didn't realize how hard it is to re-rent retail, you know, and I'm struggling. You got to really know. Real estate is great because, but you got to know ahead of time what's going to work. You know, limit your risk. Maybe you should just dump it and get your money back, or, you know, how much you owe on it.
I put down 1/3, so I owe about $2 million left with 5% interest.
I don't know. I instead of going into something risky like that, I'd pull my money back out and put it into something I know I'm going to make money on. You know, because you know, unless you're experienced in office and would you say industrial or warehouse or what?
Yeah, it's half office, half warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, unless you know for sure that you're going to put that money in and fix that place up, and you got tenants lined up, you know, it's risky because you can be sitting around empty for a long time. So I don't know. If it's not a slam dunk,
I gotta get a tenant lined up.
I'd pull my money back out. Can you sell it for when you're into it for right now?
No.
You can't?
No.
Shit. I don't know. I mean, you know, if you can't break even at least, you know, put the money to work somewhere else.
Why? Because it's not rented right now? Is it rented somewhat?
You can't rent.
Well, no.
It's not fully rented.
I'm currently operating out of it right now from my business, so my business is paying me rent.
Is there any space to rent somebody else some space to get some more money coming in?
No, I outgrew it, so I got to get out quick. I got to get out quick. Otherwise, my business is just losing money every month.
You can't just.
You need to line up a renter. I mean,
you can't have 2 locations for your business. Just add on to another space.
I am, but the new building that I'm currently about to start paying, leasing out next month is $30,000 a month. This one, all in mortgage and insurance, is $21,000 a month. So I'm at $51,000 a month in 2 buildings.
Oh my God!
And it's furniture wholesale, so it's a lot of inventory in 2 different buildings. It's a headache getting all that stuff transferred.
What kind of furniture? Home?
Just promotional furniture.
Like home furniture?
Yeah, home furniture, entry level to middle class. I wholesale it to all the mom and pops in Houston and the surrounding states.
Oh man, you know what? You don't want to open up your own furniture store? I got a great location right here in Largo, Florida.
Hell no, I'll never do retail.
Why not?
Because retail sucks, man. You got to cater to customers. You got to deliver that stuff. You got to hear all their headaches. Wholesale, man, you just let all the stores do all the work.
Well, you know anybody who wants to open up a store, let me know. I got a great spot. It's inside of a shopping
How many square
center.
feet is it?
12,000 only, but you know it's a good little small stop. It's got a
that's the
TJ
problem,
Maxx.
man. Everything's shifting online right now, so all these mom and pops are hurting.
Yeah, I buy a lot of my furniture out of Texas for my hotels.
Nice.
North Carolina, Texas. All right. Well, I don't know, man. You know, if you don't need that warehouse, I don't know, and you can't sell it for what you're into it for, you can't rent it to nobody else. I don't know. I hate to see you throw more bad money after bad money, you know, and then you go and you fix it up and you throw $500,000 into it, and then you can't rent it out. I don't know. You know, you may have to take a loss on that goddamn building just to dump it and get away from that debt every month. Try an auction.
I shouldn't have bought it in the first place.
Well, you know, try an auction and then have a reserve on the auction. You know, don't sell it if you can't get the price you want. But sometimes it's better to just get rid of shit, even if you take a small loss, if you have no potential for it. All right? Well, good luck to you, and take care. I wish you the best.
Hey, Ben, I appreciate everything you're doing, man. You're a good man.
All right, take care. Thanks.
Bye.
How you gonna?
All right.
That's it. I'm eating. Wrap it up.
That was a short one for you. All right.
Anybody else calling?
No,
Huh?
the fall's got a date to go to. That's why.
You gotta go? Wrap it up? I'm wrapping up the gyro.
What else you got going on? He's saying, "Come on, talk to your."
You got all the callers you want to do? All right.
Talk to your
All right,
people.
well, it's been
Tell
fun.
them.
And I'm going to have a busy week. I'm buying. I'm refinancing. Doing everything. Selling. I'm waiting for offers to get signed on apartment buildings, hotels. And now I'm going to refinance every goddamn thing I got. Because if I'm sitting there at 4%, and I can refinance anywhere from 3 and below and save 1%. 1% is $10 grand on every million. Okay? So that means for every $1 million I'm buying, I can save 10 grand a year, which is almost like $800 a month. All right, well, let's say I got a building for $10 million loan on it. Bullshit, I'm getting ready to sign a loan for $27 million. Now, I'm going to save on that one point, because I'm refinancing for $27 million, I'm going to save $270,000 a year, which is over 20-something grand a month. Refinance, get the best rate you can, borrow the money, now's the time, and find a deal, okay? You ain't got to give up your job. You keep doing whatever the hell you're doing. You can find yourself a rental house. You can find yourself a couple of rental units. But do it, because you need that kind of income in your life. You need money coming in that you ain't got to worry about babysitting too much. It's like owning a business without having to be there. So good luck to you. I hope you get out there and find yourself a deal this week, all right? We'll see you next week, brothers and sisters. Brother Ben need a new Cadillac, new Rolls Royce. All right, out of here.